Hey, what's up guys? It's Kev-D Fitness, and I'm going to finish up the most recent questions I got from my Q&A series. This is the third video. I do apologize for delaying getting this up. I had some technical difficulties with my computer, but I've got all the questions. There's 3 to go for my friends with Google+, so I'm going to address those. Let me just get right to it. So Ruben Ibarra writes me, and he asks, what is the best way to gain significant muscle volume without drugs? Personally, I've been eating like crazy and working out, but can't seem to get big gains. Thanks. Well, Ruben, the one thing I want to say is, really when you say big gains, it's all relative. Let me explain. If you're new to working out, in that first 6 months to a year, you can make some really big gains. You could put on a significant amount of muscle mass, because the stimulus is just so new to your body. By the sound of your question, I don't think that's your case. I think you've probably been working out for a while. And if that's the case, you just have to accept that muscle growth is a slow process. One thing here, you say you've been eating like crazy. You're not going to eat yourself to muscle gains. That's number one. Don't think that, okay, I'm just going to eat and eat and eat, and add be 500 or 1,000 calories over maintenance, and it's going to result in all this extra muscle gains. It's not. It's really just going to result in extra fat gains. So what you really need to do is just stick to your basics of muscle growth, and be patient. Just go into the gym consistently and progress over time on your lifts. Increase the weight on the bar, and of course eat in a calorie surplus, and you'll build muscle mass. So if you're benching 200 pounds, get it up to 205, then 210, 220, 230, 240, and your body will respond by building new muscle. And that's really the best answer I can give you. If you've been at in this iron game for a while and you're trying to put on muscle, it's going to take time. When you're a more advanced lifter, if you go on a bulk cycle and to put on 4 or 5 pounds of muscle is great, and eventually you're going to get to the point where you might be able to put on 1 pound or 2 of muscle a year, just because you've gotten so advanced as a lifter that there's just really you've reached your genetic limit. There's just not much more you can put on. I'm not saying that's the case with you. I'm just speculating that this is what happens as you continue to lift, you get more advanced in lifting. But it's just got to be patient. Put in the time, put in the hard work in the gym, make sure you're in your calorie surplus, make sure you're progressively overloading your muscles, and the gains will come. But they're not necessarily going to be, really fast. Okay, Brett Robinson, he asks me, I'm interested in hearing about your cutting program. How are you manipulating your diet while preserving muscle? Are you increasing cardio, cutting a lower calorie count, or carbs? Well, Brett, I'm going to have a video blog series coming out very shortly. I'm going to do some editing this weekend, and I expect that I'll post the first episode in the blog this weekend. And it's going to explain all of that. But let me just give you some really, really quick details. Yeah, I am stepping up my cardio a little bit. I currently do 1 to maybe 2 cardio sessions. I was doing when I was on my bulk, and really low intensity, 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes of cardio. Now I'm doing 2 to 3 cardio sessions, and they're all about 30 minutes long. If I'm a little squeezed for time, maybe only 25 minutes, because I do them in the morning before I get to work. So if I'm running a little late, I gotta get to work, so the cardio just has to get cut short. But other than that, yeah, calorie cut. I've cut down my calories. I've reduced my carbs. I've reduced my fat intake also, and I'm just holding my protein steady. So yeah, those are the keys. Those are the keys to cutting. And as far as preserving my muscle, I'm just continuing to lift hard and heavy. And one thing, when you go on a cut, just continue to try to progress in weight on your lifts. Don't switch it up and say, okay, I'm going to go high reps and low weight, because this is what cuts you up and you burn more calories that way. That's a fallacy. Continue to lift hard and heavy and demand that your body maintains its muscle mass, and try to lift more. Try to get stronger. It's possible, especially in the early stages of a cut. and especially if you're coming off, if you still have a decent amount of body fat on you, you can still get stronger on a cut. I've done it. You will start to level out and plateau, and probably even start to get weaker. And it'll be different for different body parts. I know that my pushing muscles, it hits first, and I stop making gains and start to regress. But whereas my legs, I can continue to make progress on my legs. I can continue to make progress on most of my back exercises, my pulling exercises, until I get really low down in my body fat percentage. But like I said, the vlog's going to be coming out, all this in more detail, and showing you the food I eat, everything that I do. It'd be really informative for you to watch. Okay, Stephen Blackburn asks me, "Hi Kev, what are your thoughts in taking a week break every 8 to 10 weeks? If you focus on one area per day, this is not in fact isn't this not in fact a 2-week break when taking this break into account?" Stephen, yeah, you are right on. When I used to do, this is years ago now, but when I used to do a bro split, and I was chest on Monday, back on Tuesday, etc. And I used to do this. I used to take a break about every 3 months or so. I would just take a week off, and what that ends up being is a 2-week break, and I don't really think that's optimal. I really don't think that's optimal. What I recommend instead of taking a full break is do a deload. Go in there and do very reduced weights on all of your major lifts at a minimum. That way you're still going to work your muscles, your body, you're not going to detrain as much, because in 2 weeks of not training, you can really, you can detrain and lose some strength. Not a huge amount, but it's possible that you're going to come back to working out and you're going to be sore. And this is going to be a result of detraining. You might be a little bit weaker, and to overcome, if you lose 5 pounds on your bench or something like that, that's not a big deal. But doing a deload will continue to activate your muscles. You won't get as sore, and part of the process of detraining is you lose some of that mind-muscle connection. You lose some of the knowledge of the your muscle memory. So doing a deload, you're still going through the motions, so you don't have the effects of detraining as much. And honestly, if you're doing a bro split, like it seems like you're talking about, I would suggest moving to something more like an upper-lower split, a push-pull legs, or even a full body routine. That way you're stimulating your muscles more frequently. I've discussed this in previous videos about, the more frequent muscle stimulation, the more protein synthesis you're going to get, the more muscle growth you're going to get. But yeah, I mean, what you described is basically a 2-week break, which really is not necessary. It's not necessary. It's good, it's good to take a break every once in a while, and let your muscles totally recover. It really allows your connective tissue in your joints to heal. I know over time sometimes, my shoulders will start to bother me, so I'll lighten my load on my shoulders, and that's when I'll go in there and do a deload. My knees, same thing. I have some problems with my knees. A lot of it's from playing basketball, a lot of basketball. So, when they start to get really sore, I'll pull back and do a deload. But I only do those maybe once every 3 months or so, as I feel I need them. But great question, Stephen. And that is my last question. Well, guys, thank you. I hope you found this Q&A session informative. I'll put out another call in a week or two for some more questions, and hopefully I get as many questions as I did the last time. I got about 11 questions, and they're all great. And guys, thank you very much. Everyone who's asked a question, I have a lot of fun answering these questions, and you guys throw some curveballs at me and make me really think, which I really like. So thanks very much, guys. If you liked the video, please do click like. If you like the information I'm putting out, please do subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you next time, guys. Bye.